Yo boys, it's Dan. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through what I predicted at the start of the year. My Premier League table predictions. If you are hyped for the video, smash that like and subscribe. And let's get into the Premier League table prediction video with you. Yes, and I will put a picture on now of what I thought would be the table in when I know this last at the start season. So Dan, now table predictions, and we're going to go through each position, each team. We're going to do alphabetical order. So we're going to see how many I got right and see how many I got wrong. I probably got a lot of these wrong because it was a really hard season to call. And we start off with Arsenal. I had Arsenal to finish in 6th place, and they were in fact 2nd place. If you told me Arsenal would be involved in let's say a title race with Man City, I would have bit your arm off. I did not think Arsenal would be involved in the title fight with Man City. Not a clue. I mean, fair play, man. Fair play, Arsenal. You did play very well for the season. On the whole, you deserved it. But there were some crucial games against West Ham, Forest, West Ham, Liverpool, and City that you got points in. So that was, I mean, looking forward to next season. They should do well this season as well, I think. Now we move to Aston Villa. I put Aston Villa to be in 13th, and they were in fact 7th, which means Aston Villa are in the Europa Conference League for next season. Aston Villa, they've had a really weird season. They were in the relegation zone for a lot of it under Steven Gerrard, sacked Steven Gerrard, and brought in Unai Emery. And when Unai Emery took over at that club, they were fantastic. Literally, fantastic team to play. They're making Villa like a fortress. Now they're looking forward to the Europa Conference League and going to some places where you would not expect them to be going. And we move to our first B. Now we move from A to B. And from Aston Villa to Bournemouth. Yes, I had Bournemouth to get relegated. They were in fact 15th. They were looking like they were going to go down for a while, but they sacked Scott Parker after 4 or 5 games in charge, and then they had Gary O'Neill. They had Gary O'Neill from the coaching staff, brought him in permanently, and what a job that man did to take Bournemouth to a safe place in the league. Fair play. I can't say much about this team, about Bournemouth, but I can mention a lot about the next team, Brighton. I put Brighton to be in 14th, and they are in fact 6th. Europa League football next season for the Seagulls. Under Bruno De Zerbi, they have had an up and down season. Every single team is always really good. Brighton had a really good season. Lost Potter to Chelsea. That was not even their fault. Then they brought in this Bruno De Zerbi guy who was fantastic as a manager. Fantastic. You're looking forward to European football. That will be a video that we're going to be keeping doing on the channel now. And we go from Graham Potter's former, we go from one Chelsea, we go from one Potter team to Potter team in Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea! I put Chelsea to be in a Champions League spot in 3rd, and they were, in fact, 12th. Chelsea. What a horrible season you have had. Literally, a terrible season for Chelsea. A really bad season for them. Oh, I don't know. Such a bad season, very bad. January, well, first of all, sacked Tuchel wrongly as well, in my opinion. Really badly wrong, in my opinion. Deserved a lot more. And then brought in Potter. He went quite late. Brought then January came along and spent £600 million on Enzo Fernandez. No matter what. Matana Mudryk and other players like that, and that was just a mess. Then sacked Potter and got Lampard. But good news for Chelsea fans now. As of Thursday, basically you'll be seeing this Thursday probably. So as of today, Mauricio Pochettino is the new Chelsea manager. Chelsea fans, what do you think? What do you think about that appointment? Is he good signing? Yes, he's done the pen before. All I'm saying about that one. And we move to Crystal Palace. I had Palace in 15th, and they were 11th. Yes, Palace were in the relegation battle for a very long time. Got rid of Patrick Vieira and brought in the old veteran, Mr. Roy Hodgson, and then he managed to keep them up. They've had again another season which you can't really say much about, but yeah, now we go to the first Merseyside one in Everton. I put Everton to be in 16th, and they were in fact 17th. Everton almost were in playing, well, nearly playing Championship football next season. Crazy, honestly, crazy scenes from Everton, surviving on the last day of the season. But under Sean Dyche's management, they were good. But I do believe that next season they'll come back roaring and hopefully survive a bit more easier this next season, because there was some other team. Now we go to the team. Now we move to Fulham. Now I predicted Fulham to be 17th, and they were in fact 10th. Again, an average season from Fulham. You'd expect mid-table team. Well, they are mid-table team. To be fair, mid-table. Very good team Fulham are. Don't know what's to speak about Fulham. And we move to... Do I do Brentford? I like Brentford. Oh well, upset it. Well, my next team is Brentford. I don't think I did Brentford. I put Brentford to be 11th, and they were 9th. So yeah, this, like I said, it's going by how I pick up. But sometimes I do miss up teams, and I have it in Brentford. But yeah. So yeah, Brentford could have got European football, but they didn't. Missed Ivan Toney. He's banned now until middle of January now for betting broken whatever it is, betting fair play or financial. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, not much about Brentford. Mid-table again. Thing could lose some of their big players, but you never know with this. And I move to Leeds United. I predicted Leeds to be in 18th, and they were 19th. Yes, unlike last season, they got relegated this season. I mean, they were never. I mean, they never looked. I mean, the whole season they never looked like they were going to survive. Like, you just knew from early on in the season, you knew that Leeds were never going to be surviving. Their 2-year stay, their 3-year stay in the Premier League has come to an end, and they will be playing Championship football next season alongside Watford. Obviously, that didn't. And also, and I move to Leicester City. I predicted Leicester City to be in 9th place, and they were 18th place. Another relegated team to the Championship. Now, Leicester, if you told me they won the Premier League 6 years ago and they won the FA Cup 3 years ago. They have taken a big step down. I don't think any of their big players will stay. Like Maddison won't stay, Barnes might stay, Tielemans won't stay. You won't see them. The further mention there of some of the names that might leave in the summer window, which opens up on the 14th or never in sometime in June. But I mean, yeah, Leicester. I mean, again, Kreutzweit needs to pull on and want to come back up next season, and we move to Liverpool. I had Liverpool to win the Premier League again, but they were in fact 5th place, which means they are playing Europa League football for next season. Yes, Liverpool in the Champions League. As a Manchester United fan, that makes me so happy. Yes, they are flying away. Like I said in the last prediction video, they had nothing to play for. They were a bang average team. They're a bang average team. Liverpool are. They're playing Europa League football next season, and we're going to move to a team that's playing in Champions League football. Manchester City. Man City in second, and they in fact won the Premier League for a 3rd consecutive season on the spin. Comment section: which was the last team to win the trophy 3 years on the spin? Comment down below. I tell you in 3, 2, 1. The last team to win the title 3 years in a row, not once but twice, was Manchester United. Yes, Man City joined the Manchester clubs. The Man have joined a very special group of only winning the title 3 times in a row. But I mean, what can you say? They've still got a chance of them. They've still got trouble on. They got the FA Cup final against their fellow Manchester rivals on the Saturday. No live action I'm working at there, unfortunately. And they got Champions League final a couple of weeks after that as well. And I move to Manchester United under Eric ten Hag. I had Manchester being 4th, and they were in fact 3rd place. What a season Eric ten Hag has had in that club. What an effect he has had on the Premier League this season, bringing in Anthony Martinez, Casemiro. Oh, but we want more players. Like he wanted more players. We will get more players. There'll be a video that I'll make a video about Man United within the next week or so, explaining what we're going to do in the summer and who should offload, and also our season as well. And that's Man United dealt with. Now we move over to Newcastle United. I had Newcastle in 10th place, and they were in fact in a Champions League position in 4th. Well played, Newcastle. Fair play. From being taken over by Saudi ownership a few years ago to now being in a Champions League and could be playing Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli, Bayern Munich, Porto, Benfica. I'm just saying, I'm trying to name the clubs now. Bayern, Dortmund, all them lot now, like at Newcastle, could be at Newcastle for next season. Wow, you do not think that would happen. But now we move to a Nottingham Forest team. I had them in 12th place, and they were in fact 16th. Nottingham Forest brought in 22 new players. You could literally have made 2 squads with that team. They were a long time I thought they were going to be relegated, but they came up trumps. The home form has kept them up, and they were 16th in the league. The home form kept them in the division next season, if you're Steve Cooper, you've got to work on your away form. You cannot only trust your away form, your home form, but also Steve Cooper. Don't bring in so many signings. And we only got 4 teams left, and we go next to the South Coast in Southampton. I had Southampton to be relegated in 19th, and they were relegated. They were 20th place. What a terrible, horrible season for Southampton. Their long stay in the Premier League has come to an end. I don't know how they will play next season in the Championship. Will they do well? I'm not quite sure. They might bounce back up again. I mean, Ward-Prowse might leave them. I mean, we go from one terrible season to another terrible season. We go from Southampton to Tottenham Hotspur. I had Spurs to be in 5th place, and they were in fact in 8th place. What a season for Spurs. 3 managers, no European football for Spurs. No European football at all. They came 8th. First of all, had Conte, sacked Conte, had his assistant Christian Steele, sacked his assistant, now have Warren Mason, the assistant's assistant. What an absolute mess of fucking hell. Jesus Christ, I shut myself. Boys, ignore that. My ring light stuff. Jesus Christ. Right, we'll carry on number one. I move to West Ham United. Fucking hell. I had West Ham to be in 7th, and they were in fact 14th. Let me just fix this real quick, boys. Jesus Christ. They have a Europa League. Think about in the next couple of weeks. And yes, West Ham didn't have the best season. They were in a relegation battle for most of the season, but they managed to survive. They might do well next season. They probably will do well next season. They'll probably be in Europe. They'll probably be in the Europa League, because if you've been in the Conference League, you get into the Europa League. And now the last team of the Premier League is Wolverhampton, and Wolves going on a European tour. That is not happening. They came in 13th place, and yes, they came 13th. Again, an interesting season under Jürgen. They had Jürgen Lopetegui for pretty much most of the season, like the back end of the season. Like, I can't complain much at all, and that will bring, boys, the Premier League table and the season to a close. Thank you all over the last 12 months with World Cup, Premier League, the Premier League, and then to keep the support going for the World Cup, for the Men's World Cup. Thank you all for watching it. I will see you all in a cup maybe next week for a Manchester United season overview. And boys, what videos do you want to see on the channel in the Premier League off season? Let me know, boys, and I'll see you all in maybe a week or so for Manchester United table review. No, like season review, signing for next season, and stuff like that. And that will bring it to an end. Enjoy the Premier League off season, boys. I will see you all in the new season. Until then, if not, I'll see you all in a couple of days, maybe a week or so, for Manchester United season review. Until then, boys, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all later. Peace.